Good people, welcome to this episode of the show. Before we talk about travel or not videos from MDW basketball, make sure you subscribe to Basketball Society right here on YouTube for even more basketball content and episodes of this podcast.
I'm like, yeah, you see it?
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Josh, Kobe Bryant is the best scorer you've ever seen.
We can now rearrange history.
I'm pushing art and creativity through basketball.
I'm all for winning. I'm all for being competitive. But you took it to another level.
Good people, welcome to this episode of the Basketball Society podcast. My name is Martin. I'm your host. It's just me on this episode. We won't be here long, but I want to talk with you about an individual, one guy in particular, Milton Chavis. He's known as MDW basketball on Instagram and on social media. He does these wild, wacky, travel or not videos. And I get almost every week, I get his videos or a clip that he posted sent in my inbox on social media with people asking me questions and calling him names and you know, making jokes and all kinds of stuff. And honestly, it is hilarious. You watch the stuff that he's doing, jumping up and spinning around and hopping and spin around again and jump and you know, that asking, is this a travel or not? And people are like, what are you talking about? You know, so I think it's hilarious. I always have. I've been trying to get Milton on the show. I've been trying to connect with him. You know, we've got to give people more credit for knowing like what they're doing. And we have to listen to people more about why they're doing what they're doing and the message and the intent behind it. Because every time I listen to Milton talk, sometimes he'll be on Instagram live. I'll watch one of his lives or even watching his videos or even like actually reading the captions on videos that he posts. For one, Milton played pro. He played overseas for years. I don't know how many, but he was a legit pro. He played overseas. Like, even if you look at him, he looks like he's like 6'4" or 6'5". He looks like a pro. Like he's a pro. He's a hooper. Like, he knows his stuff as a player. Two, he trains pros. I've seen him working with John Wall. I'm pretty sure KD has worked out with him before. So I actually found out that Milton played in high school with John Wall. So I think I've seen him working out John Wall before, but they know each other from playing together in high school. And then I saw a picture of Milton with KD, and I just remembered seeing it, and I assumed that they worked out together. But I saw a video of Milton just talking about how he got to meet KD at a gym, at a workout one time. I know he said that KD is his favorite player, but technically I don't think he's worked him out, but he does work out high school kids as a profession. So let's get back to the video. He's trained pros and he trains high school kids. He trains kids as a profession. He's not teaching this stuff to his kids. He's not teaching these elaborate, you know, moves, questionable travels or whatever. He's not teaching those moves to the kids that he's trained. So people who try to discredit him saying, how is a trainer teaching this stuff? He specifically says he doesn't teach this stuff to the kids he trains. Why would he? I'm sure he knows that if one of his kids were to pull one of these joints in a game, there's no way. There's just no possible way that he would be teaching kids these kind of moves to use in the game. All right, we have to know that. We have to give him some credit to know it. You got to think that he's at least smart enough to know that. So then again, you have to look at like why he's even doing the content in the first place. This is the other thing that I've learned about him from reading and listening to him. He actually studies the rule books. This dude actually studies the rule books for NBA, FIBA, Gather Step. He studies the stuff. So I'm sure he's aware of how it looks. He knows it looks silly and stuff. And I mean, I can't speak for him, but I would venture to assume that he didn't start, like, he knew that it looks crazy, but he didn't start posting videos like those because he knew it would go viral because it looks crazy and it's controversial. Like, I would venture to assume, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, and I hope to ask him because I want to get him on the show, but I would venture to assume he started doing those videos because he really started playing with the rules himself of footwork, of traveling, of jump stops, of gathers, of like he started really studying the rules. I don't know if he said he was ever a ref. I know he's connected with a lot of refs. I know, like you'll see refs in his comments, like affirming his stuff, but I don't think he was ever a ref himself, but he really studies the rule book. And I think probably as he started looking at stuff, he started messing with stuff in his head. Like, you know what? If I did this and then stopped and then spun around on the one, I still have my pivot foot. And he probably really just went into a rabbit hole of stuff. And then, made that into some content and started posting it on social media. And, that stuff does tend to get crazy reactions because it just looks so crazy. But he's a student of the game. He played at a high level. He trains kids now. Like he's a student of the game. He cares about the game of basketball. Y'all need to leave this dude alone. Just leave him alone. He knows what he's doing. Like if you don't like it, people are going to do it anyway. I'm not going to stop people from being ridiculous, but it's like, why waste energy talking about again, it's funny. Like in my group chats, like we'll talk like, I wish somebody would do one of those moves against me in 21, and try to argue that it's not a travel, like it's funny. Like there are jokes that come from it naturally and it's funny to talk about, but dude really is a student of the craft. Like watching his stuff and really studying his stuff will give you a better understanding of footwork, no matter how crazy or silly or wacky it may look. If you read and you watch and you listen, you will pick things up. You will learn things. So my only takeaway is like, leave the dude alone. He knows what he's doing. He's not using it for ill intent or bad purposes. He's not teaching this. He's not arguing that people should be using these moves. He's offering a new way of thinking. And usually when you do that, usually there is controversy and backlash and people who disagree with you and call you names and stuff. But, for now, I'm going to keep enjoying the content. People are still going to send it to me asking questions, but hopefully I'll be able to ask Milton some of the questions myself one day on the show. But thanks for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, click like, leave a comment down below. There's so much great, innovative, creative stuff going on in the world of basketball. And so I try to shed light on that sometimes on the show, because as a basketball society, it's always about moving things forward, being innovative and continuing to develop in our love and understanding of the game. So I think the brother's doing that. So much love to him. Much love to you for checking out this episode. I'll see you guys on the next one. If you liked this episode of the Basketball Society podcast, I need you to go down and click like, leave us a comment, and subscribe to Basketball Society for more content, breakdowns, interviews, and episodes of the show.